competition. And skating fans here and right across Canada asking the question, will this be the night that Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler finally capture that elusive gold medal? They're coming off perhaps their best technical program ever last night, while many of their main rivals fell back. So Brasseur and Eisler appear to be in control, perhaps a good omen that they're skating here at Prague. This is where they first skated internationally in a competition. Of course, this is where the Jelniks also won. It's been 9 years since Canada won gold in the pairs competition. The last to do it, Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini.
Well, Chris, it certainly was a highlight for our career, and hopefully it will be tonight for Lloyd and Isabelle. They're sitting in a great position going into the long program tonight, and that's because the other two teams in contention for the gold medal really have been known to fade in the long program. For Lloyd and Isabelle, their main competition will be with themselves, and they have a much more subdued strategy going into the long program, which really has seemed to work for them. If it works for them tonight, hopefully there's nobody that can touch them.
Well, Barb, for Isabelle and Lloyd, a good skate tonight assures them of a medal. As a result, I think the real competition is going to be for the other two places on the podium. We have three teams, a Russian, a German, and an American, vying for those other two positions. And I think there's a chance that for the first time since 1960, when Robert Paul and Barbara Wagner won this competition, that a Russian may not stand on the podium. But before we get to the medal hunt, let's go to the ice for the first of three Canadian entries.
Well, Paul, Jodine Higgins and Sean Rice getting set to hit the ice. But first, here's Gene Sepp with a judge's perspective on the lifts you'll see in tonight's free program.
Chris, in a well-balanced pairs free program, the couples must incorporate at least 3 different lifts, up to a maximum of 5. While these may include the twist lifts that we've already seen in the technical program, we want to now focus on some of the other lift options that are possible. One of the simpler lifts coming up is a platter lift. It is recognizable by the woman's horizontal position in the air and the hand-to-waist hold. The star lift, a hand-to-hip hold, with one arm released, is more difficult. Here it is again. This time, both hands will be released, adding to the difficulty factor, along with a flip dismount. A lasso lift is even more difficult because most of the lifting thrust is done by one arm. Look at the woman's position in the air, how soon her arm is released, the ease of the man's rotation, and the control on the dismount. The most difficult lift you'll see here today is this back overhead of Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler, where neither partner can see each other. Looking at it in slow motion, note the difficult entry of the back overhead where they can't see each other, the variation to a one-arm overhead, to a no-arm overhead, with a full flip dismount. Truly remarkable. Our sport is evolving so rapidly, it's difficult to keep up with all the developments, especially in pair lifts. However, in general, look for balance and control within the lift, the women's position in the air, and the speed and power as the lift travels across the ice.
Thank you, Gene. Here are the Canadian bronze medalists, Jodine Higgins and Sean Rice, and we'll watch for their special lift, the no-hand star. And Barb, you can point that out. They are in 13th place and hoping to move up with this long program.
Well, Barb, we had an opportunity to work with this couple at the national camp back in July, and at that time, I personally would never have guessed that this team would have skated their way onto the world team. Yet obviously between then and now, they put in a lot of hard work, and I think they're reaping the rewards of that work here at Prague.
Well, I don't really think they believed they would be on the world team. But Sean said to me after Canadian, he said, my dreams are coming true. And look at the size of that triple twist. Here comes the double axel. Good one. And now the key is to keep the concentration through to the end of the program so they don't make any more or any minor errors.
That's a lift which you don't see too many of anymore. That's a lasso lift, one of the more difficult pair lifts. And they carried it off nicely with good speed and it really covered a lot of ice. What's impressed me most about this team through the entire week is the way they've managed to keep their composure, haven't let themselves get rattled by the fact that they're at their first World Championships, and have really done an admirable job for themselves.
For Jodine and Sean.
Especially in light of the fact that that is not the way that program is supposed to end, and yet he hung on to make it look just fine.
That was a perfect performance right up until the very end. I'm sure they'll be very pleased with that.
Here we see the first throw, the throw triple sow cow. Nice clean landing on her behalf.
He had a couple of minor trips throughout the program, but Jodine just looks so cool throughout the entire program.
And we'll be back with the marks for Jodine Higgins and Sean Rice when we return to the Sport Hall in Prague. Marks for Jodine Higgins and Sean Rice, and they're all in the 5s. How are you doing? Up to the 5-3 from the Canadian judge Francis Defoe.
Well, this team skated the pair aspects of this performance very well. What they need to go home and work on now is their side-by-side jumps. They've got a bit of a unison problem with those, and they've got to get up to a more difficult level because they're only doing up to double Lutzes at this point in time.
And the artistic marks go up from there. They have 6 first-place ordinals, 3 second-place ordinals, and they want to make sure they say hi to everybody at the Preston Figure Skating Club. Jodine's mom is a seamstress working on all the costumes for the Preston Skating Carnival coming up, and that is a big job. Kerry Leach with them, and he's pretty pleased with their World Championship debut. Jodine Higgins and Sean Rice of Canada. Here are the Canadian silver medalists. Michelle Menzies and Jean-Michel Bombardier, and the standard Canadian cheering section comes alive. They're in 8th place after the technical program, and a lot of people in the Canadian camp felt they kind of got lost in the shuffle last night. Maybe their skate was better than it really was rewarded by the judges.
Well, it's amazing to me that this team has only been together for 9 months. I think we tend to forget that. But what this partnership has done is brought the best out in each of the skaters. They're opening here with a triple twist.
very nicely done throw triple sow cow, but from the angle we saw it at, I question whether or not she got a clean landing in. I suspect that perhaps she did have a 2-foot landing, but a nice throw nonetheless.
What I love about this team is everything is so well finished. They really take their time. They never rush through any of the elements. Jean-Michel's been having difficulties with his double axel in practice, but he pulled it off for the second night in a row. Good for him.
I've watched this performance, the thing that I've enjoyed the most is that this team skates together as a team. We sometimes watch pair teams perform and you sense that there's some friction and they're not skating together, but this has been a really cohesive unit out here tonight. They've had a great skate, and to go along with the performance that they had last night, this for them as well is an excellent world debut.
Oh, look at the emotion on Jose Chouinard's face, and the Canadian team ecstatic. Jean-Michel Bombardier, Michel Menzies, and tears of emotion because they have just delivered a great skate here. Well, he said they were happy with their placement in Hamilton, but not happy with the way they skated. Said they had to learn how to compete. I guess that's part of the learning process.
They had complete concentration throughout the entire program. Here's a look at the triple twist. Gets good height, a little tight on the landing, but they push it through. I think what I was most impressed with, here's a look at the triple sow. It does look like she does touch there, but I don't think that's, it's very minor. I was really impressed with the choreography and the way that they just took their time all the way through it, step by step throughout the program. I think that has something to do with their training. They train with Jose Picard and Eric Gillies, and their choreographer is Uschi Kessler, who also did Lloyd and Isabel's program.
Well, you mentioned actually earlier that the short period of time that this team has been together, and there's something happening here. Something has clicked between these two skaters, and it's evident after just a short period of time that they've been together, and it's that special ingredient that makes a really good pair team.
5 3s, 4s, and 5s. Technical marks. They both were disappointed a year ago, missing the Olympics. She with Kevin Wheeler, and he with Stacy Ball. He was 8th in Munich with Stacy Ball, and accepting congratulations here. Thank you. Presentation marks. And they have second place ordinals right across the board behind Barakova and Novotny.